It's BGHW, it's Maine Township. It's time for the Junior Varsity Combined State Championship here from the Rosemont Ice Arena. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Shellen Sports Media. My broadcast partner tonight is Brandon Januska. My name's Aaron Shellen, and Brandon, these two teams probably getting a little bit sick of each other here in the postseason, as this was the matchup for the Varsity Combined Championship last weekend at Allstate. That was a game that was won by the Stampede, who came into that as the number 1 seed. Here it's a little bit different. Roles are reversed. Maine comes in 25-2 in the regular season, the top seed, and they're taking on the underdog, the 7 seed, the BGHW Stampede.
Yeah, you said it. It's exact opposite of what we saw at the varsity level just last week when BGHW won that one 5-2 over Maine, the third state title for the varsity squad. Now it's the JV squads going head-to-head, and you said it, BGHW now the underdog as the 7 seed coming in. This will be the third time these JV squads compete against each other. They played each other twice way back in September. Maine took both of those, so BGHW a chip on their shoulder here at the JV level.
Yeah, they want to sweep the JV and varsity combined championships, but they have to go through a incredibly physical and high-powered Maine Township offense. Maine advanced to this championship game, taking down 17 seed Plainfield 6-1. Then they took down the DHS DuPage squad 2-1, followed by a 6-0 shellacking of Rockford on March 7th. And on the other side, BGHW defeated Glenbard 4-3 in the first round, and then they took down the 2nd seed Prep in the big upset of the tournament 5-3 before beating Lincoln Way 4-1 in the semifinals last week. That's how those two teams made it to Rosemont here today. As you said it, Maine took both games from BGHW, but things are different in the postseason. Both teams are hot. Both teams are on winning streaks. Obviously, as we go to the championship game here, the Stampede and Maine Township, the 1 versus the 7 for that state championship. We just saw the JV Pure State Championship finish up. New Trier with an impressive 4-0 victory in that game over Brother Rice. The SHL sweeping the Pure State Championships, as it was St. Viator taking the varsity. New Trier, who was coming off of 3 consecutive varsity state championships, they have to settle for a junior varsity state championship this year.
Yeah, talk about the rich out there on the ice.
Yep.
And yeah, they aren't able to get the varsity this year, but they still come home with the state championship, winning that JV level. And Brother Rice had opportunities. We were watching that game throughout. A late goal at the buzzer in the second period really kind of took the life out of Brother Rice, and it was a cruising in the third period to that championship for New Trier.
Yeah, the game was closer than that. It was 2-0. New Trier scored a goal at the buzzer at the end of the second period, and then an empty net goal in the third made it 4-0. But Brother Rice hit a post, they hit a crossbar early in that game. Could have been a whole lot different, 6 inches one way or the other, but New Trier, the Trevians, they win the JV Pure State Championship. And now we're going to do player introductions, the national anthem, and we will get ready for BGHW and Maine, the JV Combined State Championship. Oh, the sweet, sweet voice of Wayne Messmer. I love it. Wayne Messmer singing the national anthem. Not here in person, of course, for these JV state championships, but Wayne Messmer nonetheless. Your starting goalies for tonight's game. First, for the top seed Maine Township, it'll be All-Star Anthony Napolitano, who played 18 games this season for Maine Township. He was 15-2 with a 1.65 goals against and a .900 save percentage. And down at the other end for the BGHW Stampede, it'll be Marcus Davis Wooten, who during the second half of the season for BGHW started 6 games at a 2.71 goals against and an .895 save percentage. And Brandon, you look at those two goalies, obviously a pretty huge discrepancy in win-loss and goals against, but when you look at that save percentage, pretty close. Napolitano right at .900, while Davis Wooten was at .895. That shows Marcus facing a whole lot more rubber over the course of 45 minutes. We'll see if they can limit this high-powered Maine attack here tonight.
Yeah, and that was also the case in the semifinals. Marcus Davis Wooten saved 22 of 23 shots he faced in that win against Lincoln Way to advance to this championship game. On the other side, Anthony Napolitano, he only faced 9 shots. He saved all 9 of them, but a much different total, 9 shots faced compared to the 23 shots faced by Davis Wooten.
Absolutely. We are ready to go. BGHW going left to right. Maine wearing the blacks with the red stripes, white numbers, and BGHW in those white with the gold and black. This is thrown the length of the ice, and it'll be an icing right out of the chute. 11 seconds in, we get a whistle. So yeah, these two teams, varsity teams, played a week ago out at All-State, not too far from here. Stone's throw, you could say, from the Rosemont Ice Arena. That was a Stampede victory. The Stampede were the 1 seed in that one, and Maine was the 2 seed. So that one went chalk, as they say, but BGHW emerged victorious. Stampede have it low. That's thrown in on Napolitano. The puck's loose in the paint. And that was Henry Villasenor with an opportunity on the back doorstep, but knocked away. Now Maine Township throws it up the wall. Stampede walking through Cullen Wilcox 1-on-5 as his line mates go for a change. That is thrown out by Maine, picked up here by Patrick Zielinski. Zielinski to Boyle. Connor Boyle starts up ice. He'll shuffle it back to the Maine blue line. Right back into the Stampede defensive zone. But now forward comes BGHW, swept into the corner by Hudson Bonenstiel. Bonenstiel back to the point. Zielinski fires the shot wide.
So far, the Stampede doing a nice job of controlling the puck.
And here comes Joe Berger. Berger 2-on-1, has to stop. And that's good defense by BGHW's Patrick Zielinski. Now Zielinski coming forward with it, gains the blue line. Zielinski's shot deflects off the back wall. And we saw this Maine offense just a second ago turned seemingly nothing into an almost 2-on-1. So you got to be very, very careful if you're the Stampede not to allow those odd man rushes. Is some impressive offensive numbers put together by this Maine Township squad. Puck right in front of the Stampede bench, and we'll have an offsides called. Mason Lyons, the leading scorer for Maine Township. 28 goals in 28 games for Maine, so be wary of number 5 in black. Cade O'Donnell, 37 points in 26 games. Joe Berger, 33 points in 28 games. Jaden Cuffle, 27 points in 25 games. So a ton of offense up and down this Maine Township lineup. Puck's cleared to the red line. Fired into the left shoulder of Davis Wooten, and it falls into his, looked like it fell into his blocker glove. So you hold on with 12:48 left, and a little bit choppy out of the chute, Brandon, but I think that probably plays to the Stampede's favor, right? Try to gum this game up a little bit.
Yeah, and so far they've done everything they've wanted. They've had control. We've been playing mostly off to our right up until this face-off.
That's slammed around the wall, kept in near point by Kolwitz. Pitchforked around by Wilcox. He'll try the far corner, or far side, kept in over there. They'll come right back around the near wall, and now it comes out to center ice. Maine back on the counterattack, though. Everson, stick handles. Carson Everson throws it back towards the paint, no call, and now out with its Wilcox. Cullen Wilcox skates around the defense. Wilcox, bad angle shot. That is into the body of Napolitano, and Wilcox gets wiped out along the back wall after the shot. Napolitano didn't know where that puck was, Brandon.
No, he didn't, and he was just fortunate that it came in on the body. You said his shoulder saved there. And for Colin Wilcox, he scored 2 goals in the semifinal game to help get BGHW to this point, and nearly had a good one right there.
Yeah, got hit hard, a little slow getting up, but he got up on his own, and now he's back at the bench. Draw to the left of Anthony Napolitano. Coming out with it now is Maine. Here's an opportunity for O'Connell, and he's offsides.
Yeah, just a touch in front of his teammates.
Again, you saw that started in their own zone, and then you look up, and it's a 3-on-1 down to the left. So, again, this Maine offense can create a lot out of little. Exactly 3 minutes gone by here in the first. Colwitz, it's going to be an icing. No, they're saying, I guess, maybe on his follow-through, he had that across the red line. He was pretty far behind the red line when he cleared that in, and Michael Zyman's not going to be able to get to that in time. That will be an icing.
Yeah, it was very close, as you said, on the red line going the other way, and unfortunately for the Stampede, they get hit with the icing, so it comes back to their end.
Face-off will come to the left of Davis Wooten. It'll be Mason Lyons on the draw. Wins it, and Davis Wooten makes the catch. Clean face-off win, shot from outside of the far circle, and Davis Wooten saw it all the way.
Yeah, that was a clean look for Maine, but like you said, there was no traffic in front. Davis Wooten saw that into the glove.
That puck is thrown up around the far side. BGHW gets it into the neutral zone, and here comes Zyman. Zyman has his pocket picked right at the blue line. Now the other direction is Lyons. Lyons cuts to his right. Lyons tries to throw it through as he had Jaden Kuffel standing in the slot. And that's going to be an icing on the Stampede. 11:17 left in the first period, no score. And JV combined state championships here from the Rosemont Ice Arena. Brandon Januska and myself, Aaron Schellen, and it's been a lot of fun being a part of AHAI this season. We had an opportunity to see teams from the IL West, IL North Central, the Chicago Catholic, the SHL, and it was a lot of fun. A lot of fun being a part of it. Puck in the near corner, two to a side, comes up the near wall, and Stampede are able to work it forward into the attacking zone. Wilcox falls at the feet of, that's Pipikos. Now back to the far wall, and out with it. Pass thrown up ahead to Berger, and over to play it is Davis Wooten. Has to come far out of his net. Behind the goal with it is Nico Daguerre. That's put up the near wall. Pipikios now to Million. Matt V. Million. Million skates it wide. He'll shoot it wide. He'll come out to center ice and back into the BGHW zone where Karavatsos will play it. He'll flip it up the near wall. Everson keeps it in near point. Puck high slot. Now Valentin. He gets bumped. Hit in the corner. Puck comes out the near side. And it's going to be iced by the Stampede. You see the Stampede are pretty comfortable with that, right? You get the puck, an opportunity. If you're feeling a little hemmed in, just turn around and just turn around and fire it out of the zone.
Yeah, early on they were maintaining a presence in the Maine end, but now Maine has kind of flipped the script on them. They're on the heavy attack right now against the Stampede, and so to your point, BGHW just trying to get a little bit of a breather before coming back down.
Draws one by Maine South. Now in the corner, thrown back towards the near side. Clayton Colwitz behind the nets, and Davis Wooten drops the mid on it, and we get some pushing and shoving. That looks like Grubek, number 67, in there. Draw will come to the left of Marcus Davis Wooten. Yeah, so first couple minutes, or I guess it'll come to the right of Marcus. So first couple minutes, Stampede pretty comfortable in the attacking zone, but as you said, on their heels here for the last 2.5 or 3. Need a good shift here. Behind the net, 2 to a side, dug out by Maine. Taken away by Zyman. He tries to go up the wall. Zielinski will have to go back and get it behind his net. He'll spin away from the hit, come back to his forehand. Cleared up, kept in by Kolwitz near point. Up the wall. Valentin behind the net. Far side punched up by Chaconis, and now out. Maine offsides. Ooh, almost a giveaway there. Dangerous pass, and now out with it Zyman. Zyman across the blue line, top of the near circle. Skates it wide, tries to backhand it out in front, and that's pushed back into the neutral zone. Now O'Connell. Nice feed across the blue line. Murphy, far side shot by Zerwanka goes wide. Everson winds up. That's blocked away by Davis Wooten. Backhanded cross ice, near wall now with it. Everson gets away from the hit. Zyman does a nice job stick checking. And Zyman knocked away from him. Not able to get it up and out, and this time he does, and it'll be another icing on the Stampede.
Yeah, so there was one clean exit of the zone for BGHW. They were able to get a little bit of an offensive presence out there on the other side, but then Maine Township able to break back the other way and ends up with another icing call against the Stampede, who have seen a few shots in on their goaltender, Marcus Davis Wooten, over these last couple of minutes. Shots now in favor of Maine, 4-2.
Still nothing, I would say, super dangerous on either side, right? Some good opportunities, but nothing that you would call a grade A danger chance. Pipikios not able to play the puck cleanly. Now Ronkoski, or excuse me, that was 53. That was Chaconis. He'll come up the far wall with it. Million. Stick handles around, gets across the red line, gains the blue line. Million tries to go through the legs of Finnegan Murphy. Kept in far wall for the moment, and Zerwanka kicks it out, and now Mason Lyons 1-on-3. Lyons to his right, bad angle, the shot and the save by Davis Wooten. Pipikios not able to clear it out. A one-hand attempt by Million, can't get it out. That deflects up against the back wall. Now chopped up near half wall. Lyons skates along the blue line. Throws it to Mason Kelly. Deflects off his leg, goes into the corner. 7 minutes left in the period. Kelly in the corner. Loses the puck to Wilcox. Nice move by Wilcox to get free. Mason Wilcox with a little bit of space. Cullen Wilcox runs into Myers, gets cut off, and delivers the hit back. So takes a hit, gives a hit. Cullen Wilcox taken here by Marzalek. Michael Marzalek throws it out in front. Nobody on the other end. Boyle, far dot, stick handles. Boyle continues to stick handle. Boyle flips it in front. That puck is loose in the paint. Boyle takes the shot, it deflects down. Zielinski takes the shot in and out of the glove of Napolitano, and Anthony is forced to cover up, and that's what the Stampede needed, Brandon. They've been on their heels a bit. They needed a good shift. They got one right there.
Yeah, and it all started, like you said, Cullen Wilcox exiting his zone, bringing it through the neutral zone with a little bit of speed behind him, delivered a nice hit upon entry into the offensive end, and that set up that entire offensive sequence, and now the Stampede with an offensive draw.
Face-off will come to the left of Napolitano. Puck just sitting on the dot. It's won by the Stampede. Marzalek back to the point. Zielinski. Oh, he tries to pinch, gets away. Murphy now down the near side. Zielinski does a nice job getting back, though, on the stick check. Puck comes into the near corner. Zielinski below the goal. Backhands it forward for Vranos, Aiden Vranos. Knocked away from him by Everson. Valentin tips it forward. That's cleared out, and icing is waved off. Kolwitz will have to go back and get it. Whiffs on the attempted pass. It's knocked back around into the near corner. Monenstiel with a big hit in that near corner. Another hit in the big corner, in that near corner. Now out to center. BGHW offsides. Skidmore will have to go back and clear and touch up before BGHW can play the puck. And the save made down at the other end by Davis Wooten. 5:11 left in the first, no score.
Yeah, Maine showing off their speed in transition. They can respond in a blink of an eye. We saw it there. They're able to get the offensive end.
Kate O'Connell will take the face-off against Michael Zyman. It's won by Zyman. Zielinski. Zielinski was an all-star as well. We saw him last week on the other rink, doing the IL West, or doing the all-star games. And coming up the near wall with it is Zyman. Zyman now into the neutral zone, 3-on-3, takes the shot, deflects into the near corner. Myers takes it over for Maine Township. Puck comes back through the crease, back through the paint, and out to center ice. Zerwanka will dump and chase. The first one on it, Zielinski will meet him there in the corner, cut him off. Takes the puck and pushes it forward, and team effort gets it out. Tristan Guggen. McGovern will stop, gain the red line, throw it near corner. Connor Boyle kicking it up the wall, getting pinned into that corner. They'll have to go back and get it, but Joe Berger's the first one on it, centers it, looking for Lyons. Good back check by the Stampede. McGovern off the wall. Berger clears it in. BGHW will go back and get it. Chaconis, third time's a charm, as BGHW will ice it again. 3:43 left in the first. Still no score. The longer this game goes without a goal, Brandon, who do you think it benefits?
I think it's benefiting BGHW. The longer they can keep Maine off the board here, just try to keep playing their game and wear them down at this point.
Muck it up a little bit, try to get a, maybe not a fluke goal, but one of those garbage type goals, right? Puck off a leg, off a skate, something like that.
Exactly. This could also just come down to who makes the mistake first, and that could easily just be who ends up in the box first.
Yep. Here comes Berger now with Lyons 2-on-2. Berger fires the shot off the legs of Chaconis. Behind the net, thrown back out in front, and it'll be Pipikios on it. Berger again. Drop pass Lyons, pretty feed. Lyons takes the shot, that's kicked away. The deflected puck. And Davis Wooten did a nice job keeping his eye on it. And now Wilcox. Cullen Wilcox dropping it for Million. That's cleared in. Matvey will go back and get it behind the net. Pushed around near wall. Berger again. Pass behind Lyons, and that one's iced. Iced, and it didn't need to be iced that time by Gregory Pipikios. He was about 3 or 4 strides behind the red line. There was nobody in front of him. All he had to do was skate forward and clear it in. Instead, it'll be a offensive zone face-off for Maine Township.
Yeah, it might have just been one of those moments where you kind of feel a presence behind you. Maybe you thought someone was coming in, could poke it away, and just released.
Draw to the right of Marcus Davis Wooten, who stopped 7 of 7 so far here in the first. Puck is cleared out. Race for the puck here. Marzalek, Michael Marzalek tries to tip it to himself, but Everson gets back nicely. Gives it away, though, far corner. That hops off the stick of Aiden Vranos. That lets Maine Township collect the puck behind their net. Now up through center ice was Salas. That was played off of a Stampede skater, throwing up the near wall. Kolwitz keeps it in at the near point. Staniszewski out in front. Marzalek, he loses the puck. Salas throws it deep. Now near corner with 2 minutes left. Kolwitz can't keep that one in. And Everson will go back and play it, and he'll just turn and fire it in. Maine will touch up. BGHW will scale it the length of the ice for yet another icing. Yeah, and I mean, it feels like that's the strategy, right? If you're in your defensive zone and you're the Stampede and you don't have an obvious play out into the neutral zone, just ice it.
Yeah, trust your centers to win the face-off coming back into your end, and then find a way to skate out with it eventually. But yeah, don't risk a mistake in your end. Just send it down ice.
Yep. Another draw to the right of Davis Wooten. This time it's won by Maine. Shot through, that was Jaden Cuffle, and Davis Wooten with the right pad save deflects it into the near corner, now behind the net. Lyons near corner. Lyons walks up the half wall, tries to cycle it deep, but gives it away. Now Zyman. Michael Zyman fires the wrist shot, and I think that caught Napolitano a little off guard. Back to the point, shot from the point, the deflection, and Napolitano, is that in? Is it a goal? BGHW saying a goal.
Yeah, they're celebrating like it is.
They're celebrating like it's a goal. The referees are waving it off.
No goal.
That was Joseph Flores down to our right. He was convinced that puck was in the net. Napolitano, he had the puck under his right pad. Again, he had no idea where the puck was, but it was under his right pad, and you wonder how much gamesmanship is there by Napolitano. Is he sliding that leg? Is he sliding that leg forward a little bit while the referees are coming to check where that puck is or not? Murphy gets it up ahead to Lyons. Lyons across the blue line. Lyons skates in, left pad save by Davis Wooten. That puck is cleared out. No icing. Kelly back to get it for Maine. So we're down to 45 seconds. Pass into center ice. BGHW with the best chance of the period. Now Boyle across the blue line. Boyle skates it wide. Below the goal line, gets pinned against the back wall. It's thrown back to the point. Zielinski's knuckle puck is knocked away, and now Zerwanka tries to hit Lyons, but that'll be too hard, and it'll be an icing with 13 seconds left. Yeah, the Stampede were convinced. I don't know if they were trying to draw the call, but they were convinced.
Yeah, they were already up against the glass on their own end, celebrating the goal, and had to actually be told by their goaltender, Marcus Davis Wooten, who skated over and was telling his guys, hey, it was waved off.
Yep. Wilcox will take the face-off against Kate O'Connell for Maine Township. Draw to the right of Napolitano. It's won by BGHW. Million throws it through the paint, comes out the other side with 8 seconds left. It's backhanded cross ice. Back into the attacking zone, thrown in on Napolitano. Stick checked aside, and that'll do it for the first 15. Maine out shooting BGHW 9-5, but Stampede with the best opportunity that'll send us to the second, scoreless. Brandon Januska, Aaron Schellen here, period 2 of the junior varsity combined state championship here from the Rosemont Ice Arena. Happy to be joining you here on Schellen Sports Media tonight for this junior varsity championship game, a rematch of sorts as these two teams faced off in the combined varsity championship about a quarter of a mile from here at Allstate Arena last week, a game that went to the Stampede. And we're ready to go for second period action. The period of the long shift, as they like to say. Period of the long change. Benches are on the wrong side. Maine will clear it in.
And this will be a big period for BGHW because of that long shift. We've talked about the counterattack and the speed of Maine Township.
Yep.
So you really have to be careful with your changes.
Wonka back to the point. That puck deflects into the paint. It's knocked away by Wilcox. Now Wilcox, who not able to control it, slams his stick on the ice. That was a 2-on-1 if he had controlled the puck. Zielinski in between the circles. Oh, a couple of players overskate it. And now Maine comes the other direction. That's going to be... Okay, we did get an arm up from that backside official. I was waiting. That was pretty clearly a hook, but 3 of the 4 officials didn't see it that way. It's like 9 out of 10 dentists, right? 3 out of 4 officials. That's off the post. We got a whistle, and that's a fortunate break for BGHW. As the whistle blew, the puck went off the post, came back out, and we'll have a penalty called here on, I don't know who it's going to be on. There's nobody going to the box yet, but there was definitely a hook. Karabatsos, maybe? Nope, he's going to the bench. Zielinski, maybe? Nope. That is going to be Zielinski. Yep, 2-minute minor for hooking. And yeah, that was a, it's always a fine line between possession and not possession when you're trying to touch up on a penalty like that. At what point does BGHW have possession of the puck, right? And they got a break there as the shot came in as the whistle sounded off the post, came back out. And after the whistle, I looked up and I saw Kate O'Connell was laying down on the ice. I wonder what the officials are talking about here.
Going over, having a conversation with Maine Township in the bench area, and they might be talking about that exact thing. Did BGHW really have control of that? They could have had that advantage still going on.
Well, at any rate, it'll be 5-on-4 for the next 2 minutes as Patrick Zielinski is in the penalty box. Draws one by Maine. Lions far point. He'll fire it into some traffic. Puck is loose right in the paint, and a score! Maine Township gets on the board on the power play. It's 1-0. That's going to be Everson, I think, who was on the back doorstep, Brandon. And he got enough of it to chip it up inside the near post.
Yeah, we talked about this could come down to who makes the first mistake, and unfortunately for the Stampede, it was them going to the box and giving Maine that power play opportunity. They convert quickly with the man advantage.
Yep, it will be Carson Everson's goal from Jaden Cuffle on the power play. So just like that, Maine, just a couple of seconds into that power play, makes it 1-0. And if you're BGHW, you said it. That's what you needed to avoid. Are those mistakes, those opportunities where Maine all of a sudden has got an extra skater or an odd man rush, and Maine took advantage of it there. They're up 1-0. It's banged off the wall and not kept in. Thrown into the Stampede bench. No whistle. That hit David Vicera over there on the bench. Nothing called. Now Cuffle keeps moving forward with it. Cuffle has it knocked away by Chaconis. Now in the corner, Berger tries to backhand it out towards the slot. Chaconis along the near corner. Kalwitz gets hit hard by Million. Lyons from the points. Left pad of Davis Wooten directs it into the corner. Lyons now skates behind the net, tries the wraparound, and Davis Wooten does a nice job protecting that far post, and the Stampede will ice it.
Yeah, and if you're the Stampede right now, you're down a goal, but you just have to stick with your game. Obviously, we're still early in this second period, plenty of time out there. Just don't let the one goal complicate things and end up being a crooked number being put up by Maine Township. So just stick with your game, keep doing what was working for you in that first period where you had the better looks if you're the Stampede.
Now, one goal is a fluke, right? One goal is a bad bounce or a good bounce if you're the Stampede.
Exactly.
But it's just a funky bounce. It's kept in at the far point by Finnegan Murphy. Zielinski back up the wall, bounces out to Zyman. Now Zyman gets back checked, and it's going to be offsides. And it's Tristan Guggen. No, not offsides. Thought I heard a whistle, but it's noisy in here, so it's hard to tell. Now Grubeck.
I thought the same thing. I thought there was that one extra move going into the zone.
Grubeck fires it into the glove of his opposite number as Davis Wooten makes the catch and holds on for a face-off with 12:16 left. Packed house. We had a packed house for the first game. I would argue that it's even more full for this one. There are more students along the end boards than we saw in that first game. Not that, New Trier and Brother Rice didn't have it was loud in here. I mean, you were in here before the game with me, and it was a noisy environment.
Yes, it was.
But crowd here just a little bit larger.
Yeah, or at least more spread out from our vantage point because, they are wrapped completely around the boards.
And I like the fact the line for BGHW in Maine, the fans, is directly in front of us. There are some kids right in front of us who are here with Maine, and sitting next to them are some high school students from BGHW. Somebody did something on the draw they weren't supposed to do, so we'll redo it. It'll be Nicholas Skidmore and Robbie Valentin. Into the near corner. Kelly keeps it in at the point. Does a nice job. And now it's out, Skidmore. And they'll throw it in. That's directed away by Napolitano. Taken by Murphy. Murphy gets run into by Marzalek. And who's the penalty going to be on? It's going to be a rough on somebody. Is it going to be on? It's going to be on Marzalek, yeah. He ran into Finnegan Murphy. He went down. Oh, they're sending them both. Or are they just sending Murphy? I saw them point at the BGHW bench, but I think what might have happened was Marzalek was coming in for the hit, and I think Murphy may have gotten either stick high or gloves high. But at any rate, it'll be a power play here for the Stampede, a chance to get this game even.
Yeah, big opportunity. The main goal came on a power play opportunity for them. See if BGHW can respond.
Finnegan Murphy in the box, 2 minutes for roughing, looking over at his coach going, I don't know what I did. Cullen Wilcox on the faceoff. It's won by Maine, pushed around the dasher, near wall. Kept in by Zyman at the near point. Zyman, far side, Million through some traffic. Zielinski, what an amazing save by Anthony Napolitano, keeping it 1-0. Zielinski, hands on his head. Wow, what a save.
Yeah, it looked like he had the entire back door wide open. And what a job by Napolitano, moving laterally over to his right to get in front of that one and keep it a 1-0 game.
Now Wilcox. That'll come out, a race for the puck here. Deppner takes the shot that ramps up into the net. Well, Anthony Napolitano has made a couple of big-time saves in this game, and Zielinski had nothing but wide open net to our left. I don't know how Napolitano got to that one.
Yeah, it looked like he was completely over to his left, and to be able to move to the right that quick and make that save.
Almost a giveaway in front of their own net. Now Zyman gets across the red line. He'll skate into the attacking zone. Chipped away from him, Zerwanka. Off the wall and the length of the ice. Davis Wooten stops it. He'll hit it off the wall. That's a dangerous play there. That puck's behind the net. Zielinski will play it in the near corner with 1:10 left on the power play. Now Wilcox. Wilcox kicks it to his stick. He'll stop at the top of the near circle, goes cross ice. Zyman rips a wrist shot wide of the near post. Zielinski back to Wilcox. Wilcox tries the cross ice pass. Zielinski backhands it through the paint. Millian far wall. He'll skate in between the circles. The wrist shot through, hits a body, another shot. That's an easy save for Napolitano. Zyman into the corner. That's backhanded up by Kolwitz. BGHW continues to possess in the attacking zone. Now it's taken by Kuffel, and he's not able to clear it out. That's kept in by Wilcox. Good keep, and now it's cleared out by Maine. 22 seconds left on the power play. Millian walks across the blue line, has his pocket picked. Poke checked Kuffel, now the other way. Jaden Kuffel 1-on-2. Kuffel the shot wide of the far post. Bad angle shot into the body of Davis Wooten. Now Michael Marzalek. It's Wilcox to join him. Up near corner, Wilcox. Comes back to the point and out. Chaconis has to wait, and he'll toss it into his bench as the power play expires. Well, you know, they say baseball is a game of inches, Brandon. You and I are both baseball guys, right? They say baseball is a game of inches. So is hockey.
Yes, absolutely. And we saw it right there. I mean, it looked like BGHW was going to respond just as quick into their power play as Maine scored on theirs. Napolitano with a huge save, and you said it, an inch over to the left, and maybe that one finds the back of the net.
Yep. Maine hangs on. They kill the power play, or kill the penalty. And now puck's at center ice. Guggen. No dump. Skidmore will go after it, but it'll be Murphy the first one on. It knocks down Skidmore. And now out to center, Grubek. It's going to be offsides, yep. And Lyons just turn around and starts yelling at Grubek about something. I mean, Grubek was going forward with the puck. I'm not sure how he could have kept Lyons on side there,
yeah,
but
it didn't look like there was any extra stick handling on that. Maybe asking for more communication. I don't know.
Yep. Neutral zone face-off with 9 minutes left in the middle period. Lions against Skidmore on the draw. It's won by Maine. Into the body of Myers. Now Lyons tries to stick handle through, far circle. Lyons on the forehand. Davis Wooten the shot. That puck was sitting right on the goal line. And the Stampede. Stampede helping their goalie out. Davis Wooten was beat. Now each team a couple of inches away.
Yeah, that one, as you said, it was just right there on the line in the crease, and underneath Davis Wooten just kind of squeaked through. Somehow able to clear that back out and down for the icing.
Draw will come to the left of Davis Wooten now. Cullen Wilcox against Mason Lyons. Berger, the quick shot off the draw. The left pad save. The puck rolls back on Davis Wooten. Instead of covering it, uses his stick to knock it out. Back into the attacking zone, Lyons. Lyons stops the shot. The deflection by Kuffel. Just tried to direct it into the net. Goes wide. I'll come back out again. Davis Wooten just using that stick to shuffle the puck away out in front, and shuffled wide by Berger of the near point. Now Wilcox gets hit by Lyons. Can't get around Everson. Lyons cross ice for Berger, who gets triple teamed. Zielinski Up to Pipikios and out. Wilcox will play it in his own zone while Maine has to touch up. Berger picks his pockets. Good pass here to Millian, a potential breakout for BGHW. Tries to jump around Everson, and no penalty. That Everson created that trip by jumping around, or excuse me, Everson. That wasn't a trip on Everson, the one-timer, the save made by Davis Wooten as Millian tried to jump around Everson, and that's what caused him to fall down, not the action of Everson.
Yeah, looking for that self-pass and just couldn't get through the body.
Yep. Now Everson behind the net with 7:17 left. Zerwanka knocked away from him. Clayton Colwitz into the attacking zone. He'll fire it right into the glove of Marcus Davis Wooten, who will hold on. Halfway through period 2, 1-0. Maine Township on a goal by Carson Everson on the power play. Close to being played with a high stick, nothing called. Zerwanka off the stick of Daguerre. Zyman up the wall, Zerwanka near circle. Bad angle shot, again, just sticked away by Davis Wooten. Doesn't like covering up. He wants to play that puck. Now Bonenstiel gets bumped by Kelly. Zyman, stick handles through. Zyman with some space, the wrist shot. Save made by Napolitano, back to the point. That's thrown through. Napolitano makes the save. The puck is still loose. And Boyle will have to go back and get it. Napolitano, I think that puck just hit him. I don't think he actually made the save there. I don't know that he saw that puck on the shot from the far point by Connor Boyle.
Yeah, and then loose candy right out in front. Unfortunately, no one there to grab it for the Stampede.
It's the best kind of candy. Means it's free.
Exactly.
Kelly with a shot off the glove of Davis Wooten. Onenstiel will throw it the length of the ice, but that'll come down on Napolitano, so no icing. Pushed over to Valentin. Robbie Valentin up the near wall. Pass behind Murphy. Valentin is in offsides. Well, Valentin took the puck in. Murphy was offsides. 5:49 left. Shots are 17-11 in favor of BGHW.
And 8-5 in favor of Maine in this period.
I'm sorry, it's Maine who's out shooting BGHW 17-11. Got my numbers backwards. Cleared up, kept in at the near point. That puck is still in the zone, and it's backhanded down by Chaconis into the feet of Marzalik. Marzalik looking for Skidmore out in front, but good defense by Maine Township, and they'll skate down the near wall with some speed. Everson across the blue line. Everson swept away from him by Chaconis and chipped to center ice. Maine takes it here. Casually will dump it in. Chaconis will play it behind his net. We'll go far side Marzalik. Marzalik gives it away, and Grubeck cutting in front of Davis Wooten, and Davis Wooten was there, and he was able to make the save. It's always scary, that skater going right in front of the goalie as that shot comes through.
Yeah, looking for a deflection or at least to evade the eye line.
Yeah.
The eyesight of the goaltender wasn't able to do either. Davis Wooten gloves it.
Yeah, whether you want to or not, you see something coming out of your peripheral vision, and you're going to pay attention to it. Slung around to the near point, kept in by Myers. Boyle will take it behind his net for the Stampede. Up the glass and out. Wilcox with Millian. Wilcox to his right, slides it in on Napolitano. Wilcox will go and get it, gets his stick tied up behind the net by McGovern. Now behind the net, oh, that pass looking for Pipikios doesn't work. Maine Township knocks it down. Lyons rolls off his stick. Kuffel back to Lyons. Karabatsos now. Boyle has his pocket pick. That's into the feet of Lyons. Wilcox chips it over to Millian. Now Wilcox. Millian racing for the puck with Myers. Myers will get there first, but he'll go hard into the end boards. Hops up, gets the puck. 4:10 left. Boyle, far point. Boyle through some traffic, and Napolitano tracks it into his glove. So we were doing the All-Star games last week on the rink behind us, and I had Mike with us. And Mike gave me this whole story, because Mike's last name is also Napolitano, but it's spelled differently. And he was giving me this whole story about how the way he spells his last name is the actual way that Napolitano is spelled. I said, all right, man, whatever. I'm not going to argue.
So now we need to do an interview with Anthony Napolitano.
We need to find out
and get his take.
We need to do a little bit of Italian research to see what the official spelling of Napolitano is. Flores up the wall. Kelly keeps it in near point. Zielinski in between his circles. Flores chops it to center. Kelly turns, fires it back in. That hits the stick of Zymans or Wonka into a trio of white jerseys right at the near point. Kelly now. Pass a little bit behind Deppner. Deppner gets hit along the Maine bench. Now cross ice. David Viscera stick handling into the attacking zone. Viscera continues to move forward with the puck. Viscera below the goal line, backhands it out in front, but waiting there was Kate O'Connell, who will sling it up the near wall. 3 minutes left. Zyman for the Stampede. Zielinski to the near corner, to the near point, but there's nobody there. Flores has to come and get it back to Zielinski. Zielinski chips it into O'Connell, and now Zielinski able to play it to center. That was dangerous for the Stampede. Going over to get it's Nico Daguerre. Maine offsides. Daguerre overskates it, leaves it behind. Now Grubek. Grubek drives the net, tucks it in the back door. That was a pretty goal by Grubek. Drove the net and tucked it inside that near post, making it 2-0.
Yeah, just an unforced error there by the Stampede, overskating the puck, and just right there to pick it up was Grubek and able to finish it. And now the Stampede chasing two with 2.5 left in period two.
Yep, bit of a different story now, right? When you're down 1-0, you know, a fluky puck, a bounce can get you back into it. Now Maine's got a little bit of a margin for error here with that 2-0 lead. Zach Grubek with the goal, his first of the postseason, unassisted. And that was a pretty goal by Grubek, driving the net hard and then tucked it in inside that near post. You almost always expect that skater to try to cut across the blue paint and tuck it in the far side, but Grubek had everybody fooled, including the goaltender Marcus Davis-Wooten, tucked it in that near post to give Maine Township a 2-goal lead.
Yeah, just great awareness there. Maybe seeing Davis-Wooten trying to cheat to the other end.
Yep.
And capitalizing on it.
And Davis-Wooten definitely pulled off that near post, and being able to control that puck in tight quarters was Zachary Grubek, and he picked up the goal, and those goals late in periods can be backbreakers. We saw it in the first game, right? A goal as the horn sounded for New Trier turned a 2-0 game into a 3-0 game and completely changed what that third period looked like. Now here's a 2-on-1 left pad save by Davis-Wooten off the stick of Maximus Zerwanka. He's back to the far point, shot in, and I think that was deflected by Ryan Deppner out in front, but Davis-Wooten saw it all the way into his belly.
And Maine has very much controlled this second period. Outside of the BGHW power play, we've been playing a lot off to our right.
Well, they were 25-2 in the regular season, so they're the number 1 seed for a reason. Here's Everson. Now Maine again, blockered away by Davis-Wooten, near corner. It's into the body of Pipikios. That'll come back into the zone. Zielinski tries to chip it forward to Wilcox. He gets bumped by a couple of blue jerseys. Now Pipikios, instead of going after the puck, plays the body, and Maine's able to take the puck. Up to O'Connell. He'll fire the wrist shot, and easy glove save for Marcus Davis-Wooten, who's now stopped 22 out of 24 through 29 minutes of hockey.
Yeah, Davis-Wooten definitely doing his part, keeping his team in this one. Again, another high shot total. Faced 23 shots in the semifinal. He's already exceeded that mark, and we're in the second period of this championship game.
Zyman up along the near wall. Comes out to center. Myers clears it back in. Myers will be behind Davis-Wooten. Chaconis. Zyman now tries to walk up the wall with it and can't, down to 25 seconds. Berger has it below the goal line. Chaconis now Boyle along the far corner. It's hit by Berger. It's hit by Berger again. Up to Bonenstiel. And now out. Hudson Bonenstiel gets cut off along the far half wall, taken down by McGovern, no call with 2 seconds. Chaconis will fire the shot, and that is how the first 30 will come to an end. So Maine took a 1-0 lead into the second period. They extended it on a goal by Zachary Grubeck. We are through 30 here in Rosemont, Maine Township, 15 minutes away from a state championship. We'll clean the ice and we'll be back with the third period action. Brandon Januska, Aaron Schellen. This is the Junior Varsity Combined State Championship. About 30 seconds away from the start of period 3. Brandon Januska, my name's Aaron Schellen. This is the Junior Varsity Combined State Championship here on Schellen Sports Media, live from the Rosemont Ice Arena. In Maine Township is 15 minutes away, Brandon, from a state championship, in a game that they've saved for, one or two big saves by Anthony Napolitano have dominated the first 2 periods, especially period 2. Yeah,
they certainly controlled the offensive attack in that second period. They're out shooting BGHW 24-13. It was 15-7 in the second period alone, and outside of a BGHW power play, it was mostly Maine on the offensive prowl.
Got that one opportunity, the one shot off the stick of Patrick Zielinski where he had a wide open net, and Anthony Napolitano made the save. And, in a championship game, in a one-and-done type championship game, you can always look back and say, what was the play that turned this game around, or what was the game that really, what was the play that decided it? And for me, it wasn't either of the goals. It was that save by Napolitano. If he doesn't make that save, it's 1-1, and it is a completely different story. Instead, Napolitano makes the save. Maine comes down, gets a goal with about 2 minutes left in the period, and completely changes the complexion here in the third period, as Maine now has a margin of error here in the third as they're up 2-0.
Yeah, it really was. It was a swing goal. It changed the entire complexity of this game. Now BGHW having to chase 2 in this final period.
And we're underway. Maine wins the draw. Cleared into the near corner. Zielinski with a big hit on O'Connell. Maybe that's the play that gets BGHW moving here. The physicality. Wilcox, aggressive on the forecheck, takes the puck away from Everson. That's thrown wide of the far post by Millian. And another big hit, this time by Zyman. BGHW looks like they're playing with a little bit more jump in their step to start the third, at least from a physical perspective. I wonder if that's something they talked about in between periods. You got to play physical, take the puck away, and try to get some odd man rushes that way. That puck goes cross ice. Everson, he'll take the slap shot off the blocker of Davis Wood, but you got to be careful, right? You got to be careful if you're BGHW. Don't make a hit for the sake of making a hit and put yourself out of position.
Yeah, exactly. You needed to be in the flow of the game, of course.
Battle along the near wall right in front of the Maine student section. Stick lift by Zyman. He still controls. Oh, that's a nice drag to his stick. He continues to hold, but he's on the wrong side. Stick handling through. Oh, almost just maybe one too many stick handles by the Stampede. Now Iverson. Iverson takes it wide. And Boyle loses it to Lyons. That's Cuffle, and he shoots and he scores! Jaden Cuffle beating Marcus Davis Wooten, and it's 3-0.
Yeah, went far side, top corner, and just buried it.
Well, there you go. You saw it down to our right. BGHW had good possession of the puck. They just weren't able to pull the trigger. Maine down at the other side. That's a goal scorer's goal by Jaden Cuffle, and it's 3-0. Cuffle that's here 15 goals in 25 regular season games. And that's a huge goal for Maine Township here early in period number 1, or period number 3.
Yeah, so now the sense of urgency has to ramp up even more for the Stampede.
The Stampede now need to start being a little bit more aggressive on pinches as that's thrown through, directed away by Davis Wooten. More aggressive on your pinches, on your forechecks. Becerra into the near corner. Behind the net, gets pushed off the puck. Monenstiel, he'll run into Murphy, has it on his stick though behind the net. Monenstiel double team, tries to push it out in front and can't. Here's Cuffle with it, he runs into Becerra. Becerra takes the puck away. Kept in by Monenstiel for the moment. He'll sweep it into the corner as the Stampede will go for a partial change. Maine Township Chips the puck to center ice. Lyons. Knocked away from him. Lyons near corner. And Guggen loses the puck. Bounces out near the blue line. Karabatsos just over in front of the Stampede bench. Ronkoski gets pinned against the wall. He'll clear it in, and no icing behind Anthony Napolitano, who's stopped all 13 shots he's faced so far tonight. Villasenor plays the puck in, but now it comes out the other way. Zachary Grubek. Grubek backhand to Berger. Berger can't pull the trigger. That's backhanded in, and now Ronkoski, or excuse me, that's Chakonis. Plays it out. Now he'll have to go back and get it. Chakonis up the far wall. That'll come to the neutral zone. Michael McGovern takes it from Maine. Uses nets as a shield, and now he'll start up ice. Cuts back to his right. Now has some room up through the neutral zone. Michael McGovern attacking zone. Skates it wide. Stops opposite corner. Gets pinned against the wall by Skidmore. Behind the net, Murphy. Murphy gets hit hard by Nico Daguerre. Daguerre gets taken down along the near wall. BGHW fans want a penalty call there. Nothing doing. Backhanded out by Pipikios. Now McGovern. McGovern goes down. Grubek, he can't pull the trigger at the near circle, and we got a pushing and shoving in front of Davis Wooten. Wilcox gets into Myers. Myers does a nice job fighting him off. And Chakonis will play it back in his own zone. Chakonis will go to Boyle. Boyle up the wall into McGovern's feet. It's knocked up into the air. Lyons. Double teamed, taken off his stick by Boyle. Now Million runs into Kalwitz. Zyman. Now Murphy for Maine Township. It's whistled wide by Salas. And comes out, Zyman. Zyman down the far side. It's good defense over there by Clayton Kalwitz to just ride him into the boards. Near point kept in Boyle. Boyle near circle. Boyle, the shot tries to go short side, blockered away. Boyle behind the net now, still has it. That's knocked up in the air. Zyman throws it towards Napolitano, who fights it off into the opposite corner. Kalwitz up the wall. That'll go past Zielinski, and that will be an icing on Maine Township with 9:30 left to go in the third. Good shift there by BGHW, but Brandon, you're getting to a point where good shifts aren't enough. You got to start to convert if you're the Stampede here.
Yeah.
Still time, but you got to score here quickly.
Yeah, and that first one, you're hoping that first one then leads and breaks the seal and then leads to another couple quick ones. But you need to find a way to get that first one in the behind Napolitano.
That'll split the defense. Zielinski, Marzalik. Off the wall and in. Kalwitz backhands it around near side. Boyle pinches at the near point, and that's what we're talking about. Stampede have to start taking some chances. Bonenstiel out in front. Ooh, gets thrown right back into the near corner. Bonenstiel again back to the point. Boyle loses the puck. That comes out. Now we got a race for the puck. Lyons and Zielinski. It'll be Zielinski on it. That'll go off the glass. Bounces down at the near point. And Anthony Staniszewski able to clear it in. No icing. Iverson will go back and get it. Nice move by Iverson. Another nice move by Iverson to get away from a couple of white jerseys. Now Staniszewski. Backhand feed there for Iverson. Puck sitting at the near face-off dot. Lyons in the corner. Lyons gets pushed off the puck. Stampede off the glass and out. No icing, 8:16 left. Staniszewski plays it to center ice. Karabatsos into Iverson. Murphy takes a bump from Aiden Vranos, but plays the puck. Now Joseph Flores on the forecheck. Maine with 3 skaters, BGHW with 2, and Maine comes out with it. Staniszewski, nice drop pass, Lyons. Lyons skates through, takes the shot into the body of Davis Wooten. Now Lyons overskates it a bit, comes out to center where Finnegan Murphy will just turn and dump it back in. Karabatsos opposite corner. Flores spins around in his own zone, and not a lot of forward motion movement by BGHW here. Now Karabatsos comes forward with it. Sarah can't keep it in. Now O'Connell the other direction. O'Connell near circle, the wrist shot. Off the glove, I think maybe off the mask of Davis Wooten as well. So Wonka far half wall, gets bumped by Chaconis, takes the puck away, and David Visera hits as far as the red line before he gets cut off. Now in front of the penalty boxes, O'Connell to his left, gets a little bit of space. O'Connell deep below the goal line, back out the far side. O'Connell the shot. That's wide, comes over to the near half wall where Murphy dumps it in. Wilcox goes around far side with 6.5 minutes left. Now Kelly. Kate O'Connell behind the net. Taken here by BGHW. Zyman with some speed through the neutral zone. Zyman now 3-on-2. Zyman gets in. Zyman the shot on Napolitano. The puck's loose. Millian can't twist the wrists. And Maine comes out the other way. Good rush by Michael Zyman. Now Murphy in the near corner. So we're down to 6 minutes. Under the stick of Zielinski, no icing. He has to go back and play it. Shots are 28-14, only 1 shot in the third period for BGHW. Nice outlet pass to Wilcox. Wilcox a little too far out in front of him, stops at the far circle. Puck sitting inside the near circle, or far circle rather, and that's cleared to center ice. Gets away from Boyle. Boyle has got Berger on his back. That'll come to the neutral zone. Lyons can't chip it away from Skidmore. Now Boyle. Boyle bumped by Myers. Lyons takes it. Goes cross ice. McGovern, now Myers into the feet of Berger, not offsides. Berger in the corner, now low. Berger out in front, that puck is loose. Lyons, pretty save by Davis Wooten. That would have been the nail in the coffin right there, but Davis Wooten able to keep Lyons off the scoreboard, at least for the time being.
Yeah, great job, just getting low to the ice.
We're under 5 minutes. Jaden Cuffle now out. Bakios. Just too many layers of black jersey out there right now. This Maine Township defense is smothering. Karabatsos, he loses the puck. Maine behind the net, out in front. A couple of black jerseys, but nothing doing. Flores back into the feet of Daguerre. Now Grubeck knocked away from him, and back to get it's Colwitz with 4:15 left, and I think we're gonna have an icing on the Stampede with 4 minutes and 15 seconds left. Shots are 29-15 in favor of Maine.
Yeah, and the way Maine is preventing BGHW from entering the zone right now, they're trying to skate in with it, the Stampede are. They might just have to work their way in and chip it in and just try to chase it down, maybe work your way to an offensive zone draw.
Maybe a little dump and chase and instead of trying to skate it in, because right now BGHW not even able to get into the attacking zone. Maine is shutting them down at the blue line time and time again. Comes up the near wall. Villasenor not able to work the puck out. Grubeck gets sandwiched. Stampede. Did Flores get a piece of that? He did not. That'll be an icing. 3:55 left. And the other problem you run into is that because you can't get any sort of offensive zone possession time, you can't pull your goalie. Like, I mean, that's really the next chance, right? You get that goalie pulled, try to go up 6-on-5, get a couple of goals, but you got to get set up in the offensive zone before you can even think about that.
Yeah, otherwise you're just giving up the empty netter and really burying yourself.
near corner. Grubeck smartly just dumps it deep. Valentin behind the nets. He'll come out the far corner, gets pinned up against the back wall by Karabatsos. That puck is kept in at the far point. Valentin keeps it in. Karabatsos now off the glass and out. Played there by Murphy, plays it into the feet of Villasenor, but then gets it back, gains the red line and dumps. Smart play by Murphy. 3:20 left. Karabatsos opposite corner. Hammered around the boards and kept in at the far point for a second. Now Villasenor gains the red line and dumps with 3 minutes left. Behind the nets, Kelly has the puck for Maine, gets hit by Henry Villasenor, knocks him down, no penalty called. And now Maine comes out 3-on-2 with some speed. It's Lyons dangling through. Lyons almost a highlight reel goal. 28 goals in 28 regular season games. Figured he'd get one today. He's been shut down, but Maine up 3-0 with 2.5 left. Zyman, he'll skate it wide. Zyman's been the best skater out there for BGHW today. The centering feed looking for Wilcox is knocked away. Staniszewski will dump it in with 2:15 left. Chaconis. Zyman. Now Zielinski at the far point. Chops it deep, but McGovern is there and he'll just skate into the neutral zone. Puck in front of the BGHW bench, and Maine can feel it now, Brandon. Under 2 minutes left, 100 seconds left. Out in front.
And still no inkling of Davis Wooten even considering going to the bench right now.
Puck is cleared to center ice. O'Connell gets around Chaconis. O'Connell cut off by Matt Vermillion, and over in the far corner, Zielinski up to Skidmore. Skidmore with Wilcox on his right, and again, just too many black jerseys. Skidmore gets knocked down. We're down to 1 minute and 5 seconds as the shot is in. McCallwitz was offsides with 1 minute and 6 seconds left. Maine Township, they weren't able to beat BGHW in the Varsity Combined Championship, but they'll get a little bit of revenge here today, Brandon, as it looks like they're going to walk away with the Junior Varsity State Championship. They are 66 seconds away from being crowned champs.
Yeah, and leading still by a trio of goals. They've really dominated the second period and doing so again here in this third period in terms of puck possession.
Well, yeah, in this third period, it's been all about the Maine Township defense. The offense has stayed back, and BGHW has not really been able to do anything offensively. They have 2 shots here in the third period as we're down to the final minute.
And like you mentioned earlier, no opportunity really for Davis Wooten to try to leave his crease.
Mm-hmm. There's a chance in. The shot gets caught up in some bodies. That one will deflect into the near corner. Zerwanka possesses the puck. He'll go cross ice. Iverson's shot, and another save made by Davis Wooten with 35 seconds left. And this has been an impressive performance by this Maine Township team today, Brandon. Again, things could have been very different if Patrick Zielinski had been able to bury that shot on the open net on the power play, but, you know, ifs and buts and all that stuff, right?
Exactly, yeah, but to your point, a 1-1 game is what we would have had at that point if it went in, and then who knows, once it's even once again, what happens from there, but that's not how it went down today, and Maine Township able to extend their lead.
Down to 20 seconds left. Up with it here is Zyman. Zyman down the far wing. Zyman stops, tries to hook into the corner, throws it back to the point. That'll get away from Karabatsos. We're down to 10 seconds left. And Maine Township, 25-2 in the regular season. They were the best team all year, and they win the junior varsity combined state championship by the score of 3-0. Brandon, the best team in the regular season, the best team in the postseason.
That's exactly right. They go wire to wire as the #1 seed. They won it in the Illinois West. They won the West Cup, and now they are your state champions at the JV combined level.
An impressive performance throughout this entire JV combined tournament, outscoring their 4 opponents 17-2 in 4 games. Maine Township does it in impressive fashion. They win today by the score of 3-0. Maine with goals from Jaden Kuffel, Zachary Grubeck, and Carson Everson. Everson in the first, Grubeck in the second, Kuffel in the third, as Anthony Napolitano stops 15 out of 15. Marcus Davis-Wooten played a solid game for BGHW, stopping 27 out of 30, but it wasn't enough as Maine Township has a yard sale down to our right. They are the junior varsity state champions. We're going to stick around here for just a second. Brandon and I are going to go mic silent. We'll turn the crowd mic on, and we will let you watch the presentation of the state championship trophy. For Brandon Januska, my name's Aaron Schellen. Maine Township are your junior varsity state champions.